Hi guys! Mona and I are here to deliver some very big news today. Here, let's have her on her little perch.
Yeah.
Come on, sit. Come on, sit. Sit your little butt down. All right, fine. Do whatever you want. So for basically the first time since I started the channel back in 2015, right? 2015, I think. Yeah. In 2015, yeah, it was 2015. I'm going to be making some changes. We're going to be making some changes. For 8 years now, I have had my weekly Tuesday show on this YouTube channel, The Financial Diet, which has been my baby and has been just such a huge part of both what I do at work every day, but also my life. And for those who might not know, there are quite a lot of people behind the scenes who help make this show a reality. You know, we have writers, we have my creative director, we have our video producer, and editor who, you know, they all work together to bring this into a cohesive weekly show. But one thing that is just undeniable is that in the 8 years since I started, since way back when Lauren used to co-host, for those who always ask, Lauren still does work at TFD. She's just not in front of the camera anymore. I've also grown up. I've changed. The world of YouTube and media have changed. The way I watch content has changed. The things that I'm interested in have changed. And one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a long time now, but have not done, because honestly, we had a revenue and an ad strategy that was based on 4 shows a month on my Tuesday show, is do much longer form content and about topics that are more kind of deep diving into the world around us. I still want to have more nuts and bolts financial information. Now, to be fair, we do have tons of playlists that have all of our greatest hits in terms of financial education in them. But that's still something that we always want to have on an ongoing basis, and finance will obviously be a part of all of the videos that we create. But I'd rather bring in newer voices to talk about some of the more introductory financial concepts, as well as some of the more nuanced financial topics, because at the end of the day, although I love talking about money, I'm also not a certified financial planner. I'm not technically a financial expert. So I want to leave room for voices to touch on those subjects a bit more literally than I do. And with my show, rather than having a weekly Tuesday show starting this month in October, I'm going to do a show once a month. It will still be on Tuesdays. And it's going to be a deep dive into a topic that really interests us and has both a lot of financial and economic implications, but is also just kind of fun and interesting. We're going to be interviewing experts for these videos. We're going to have all kinds of new and exciting production going into them. We're going to change up where we film. It's just in general going to be a total refresh for this channel and for what we're focusing on. To give you a little teaser, the first video is going to be Millennial Women May Never Recover from the Rom-Com, and it's going to be obviously a deep dive into rom-coms as a genre, but also a lot of the economic trials and tribulations that women who were raised on these movies have gone through, the way their lives have changed, and what these movies both taught us and failed to teach us. Then in the month of November, we're going to be focusing all about the rise and fall of child influencers, family vloggers, and this new frontier of putting our lives on the internet in a way that is often very economically exploitative, but quite frankly, totally unbeholden to labor laws. Like I said, for all of these videos, we're going to have some really interesting expert interviews dropping in. We're going to have perspectives of people beyond just myself. And there will always, of course, be a financial component to the topics that we're covering. And again, do not worry, I will still have my podcast every week where we'll dive into all kinds of financial topics and speak to all different people. We will also be having other series like Too Good to Be True. We will bring on other hosts to talk about more straight up financial content. This is all still very much happening, but I want my monthly flagship show to be a little bit more in line with the kinds of things that I'm thinking about these days. In general, I am personally really looking forward to these deep dive videos, having the chance to explore topics in ways that I honestly think we just aren't quite able to do with a 15 or 20 minute video, as well as speak to people besides just myself and really get that expert slash first person experience for these subjects that I'm talking about, particularly for things like family vlogging and child influencers. I want to talk to people who've actually been the kids in some of this content, who have in some cases struggled for legal and financial emancipation or to have their content removed. As you might imagine, this is increasingly becoming an issue that has all kinds of labor impacts beyond just what's happening on social media. So real quick, what does this mean for ads and your viewing experience? So we're always really transparent with you guys about where our revenue comes from. As I mentioned, part of the reason why it's taken us a while to make this transition is because we were relying on having those ads on 3 videos a month. And we do want to be transparent that in this new model, ads aren't going to go anywhere because we do honestly have to keep making money and bringing you the best content that we possibly can and paying all of our staff fairly. So since the episodes will be longer, each one will have between 1 and 3 ads. And of course, we only use sponsors that we would personally endorse. But decreasing our dependence on sponsorships is always the ultimate goal, as direct revenue is the most important thing that we can generate to help make TFD sustainable in the long run. So if you support us and our mission, the absolute best thing you can do is to join the society at TFD. And of course, refreshing the way that we do our content means refreshing what we offer for our paying members. That means that full access members of the society at TFD here on YouTube or Patreon will now get access to an ad-free director's cut of each video, plus an additional ad-free bonus video each month. This means that members will effectively get more ad-free content than they are currently. We also have decided to make our member perks entirely consistent across both YouTube and Patreon, which up until now have had slightly different offerings, but your feedback told us that this is confusing, which is real. Thank you guys for keeping it real with us. And so from now on, the Patreon is going to have the same membership tiers that you can find here on our YouTube channel, with the $4.99 monthly full access membership, as well as a $2.99 monthly Society Lite option. Unfortunately, we can't change the membership tiers for our patrons, so if you are a current patron, you'll want to check out the post that we published earlier detailing how to switch your membership to our new tiers, and we'll begin phasing out the $12 and $7 tiers. Probably the biggest change in terms of the society is going from having 1 of every 4 monthly Tuesday videos being an exclusive members only video to having our 1 monthly video be released simultaneously as an ad-free director's cut with bonus content and digressions and subtopics that are only available to our society members. So in addition to the bonus content, you'll also have the ability to essentially watch all of TFD's flagship video content without ads. At the end of the day, it is really personally important for me to keep this channel in line with the way that I'm thinking about media now and the way that I'm perceiving the world around me. Like, your girl has been extremely active on TikTok, and let me tell you, like, the discourse there is always fast and furious and so interesting. And while talking about money in a really literal way and giving people that academic, educational information is always really important, it's also so important to talk about the world around us in terms of money. So I'm really looking forward to being able to deep dive into the way money impacts every aspect of our life and breaking down so many of the messages that we have been receiving about money as women especially, but also just in general, from media, from pop culture, from the boomers in our lives who grew up in totally different economic circumstances and impose impossible standards on us. The new TFD, it's gonna be lit, you guys. There's some really, really amazing content coming soon. And like I said, I really wanna hear from you guys about the kind of content you want to see on the channel, the kind of videos that you think would be extremely interesting, and the subjects you wanna see covered. And if, by the way, you have an idea for what you'd like to see in terms of long-form video content, please leave that in the comments and upvote the ones that you'd like to see, because we definitely want to make sure that we're doing content that really interests you guys. So I'll see you a little bit later this month with our first big debut long-form video, which again will be available as a director's cut with no ads and bonus content for our members. Millennial women may never recover from the rom-com. Bye.